After attending a visit to the cemetery, a 3-generation family returned home. And on that very first night, strange things began to happen. The child suddenly cried out at the exact same time every evening, staring wide-eyed into an empty corner of the room. The cat, usually playful and energetic, now hid under a chair, refusing to step into the living room where the lights kept flickering. The mother felt a cold shiver down her spine every time she walked past the back door, while the father clearly heard the sound of soft footsteps echoing in the night, even though everyone in the house was fast asleep. The atmosphere grew heavier and heavier, as if something invisible was lurking in the air. By the third night, the grandmother looked at everyone in silence, then gently said, "Something has followed you home from the cemetery, because you forgot to do what should have been done before leaving." And just then, a cold gust of wind swept through the room, as if to confirm that her words were true. In Feng Shui, cemeteries and funerals are believed to be places where negative energy gathers most intensely, and even the smallest carelessness can cause that energy to latch onto the living and follow them back home. Many families, after attending a funeral, often experience fatigue, exhaustion, a heavy feeling inside the house, babies crying for no reason, pets acting frightened, or lights flickering unpredictably, with no clear explanation. This is not just random coincidence. It usually stems from unintentionally skipping over simple yet important protective rituals. That is why, when visiting a cemetery or attending a funeral, there are certain things that must be done to keep your personal energy field balanced and to avoid bringing bad luck back home with you. So, in today's video, let's go over the important things you need to remember whenever you step into a cemetery or attend a funeral, so you can protect your own energy and prevent any unwanted spiritual energies from following you home. Before we begin, take a moment to say a positive affirmation out loud to open up a flow of good energy for yourself and your loved ones. My family is always protected and at peace. And do not forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on essential Feng Shui tips that will help your family stay safe, stay connected, and welcome good fortune into your home. So, what are the things you need to keep in mind when visiting a cemetery or attending a funeral? Let's take a deeper look so you can truly understand and avoid making mistakes that might accidentally invite heavy energy to follow you home and bring misfortune to you or your family. First, stay emotionally grounded. Do not let your grief overwhelm you. Maintaining a calm and steady mindset when stepping into a cemetery helps your body and spirit stay centered in the stillness of this solemn space. Feeling emotional is completely natural, but when sadness takes over too strongly, it can throw your inner state into turmoil. Your breath becomes short, your heartbeat unsteady, and your sensitivity to the environment around you heightens. In the cold and quiet atmosphere of a funeral, this imbalance leaves your spirit vulnerable, like a door slightly ajar, open to anything that moves through the space. Being calm does not mean being numb. It means preserving your inner energy from being swept away by sorrow. When you can regulate your breath, soften your gaze, and shift your focus from panic to presence, the heavy atmosphere becomes easier to carry. In fact, the peace of those who remain may be more meaningful to the departed than the sound of uncontrollable sobbing. Sometimes, the most respectful farewell is a quiet one. When emotions surge too strongly, your body can quickly feel drained. Heavy shoulders, tight chest, and a low mood with no clear reason. This happens even more easily in a space like a cemetery, which carries the stillness and echo of goodbyes. A person who cannot stop crying often leaves a funeral feeling exhausted, mentally clouded, and off balance. But when you stay centered, each step feels steadier. Your breath becomes deeper, and you do not carry emotional weight with you. In the end, emotional moderation is a way of showing respect, both to the one who has passed and to yourself. A full bow, a quiet moment of gratitude, can sometimes speak louder than any cry. It is not about holding back tears. It is about knowing when to let them fall and when to pause, so your spirit does not become trapped in grief. When you leave the cemetery with a sense of calm, you carry both remembrance and peace. And that is what allows you to return to life without unnecessary burdens. Second, avoid wearing or bringing valuable personal items. As you step into a cemetery or a funeral setting, there is often a noticeable chill in the air, a soft, mist-like stillness. In this environment, valuable items such as gold rings, necklaces, watches, or amulets can easily absorb the emotional weight and energy shifts around them. These items act like tiny mirrors, reflecting not only grief, but the heaviness of parting. After leaving, something that once felt familiar may suddenly feel off, as if it carried back a trace of that cold, somber moment. Valuable items often hold deep personal meaning, memories, a sense of comfort, or spiritual symbolism. But those same connections make them more sensitive to the emotional atmosphere of a funeral. A shiny pendant may appear duller. A crystal-clear stone may look slightly clouded, not because of any physical change, but because it has briefly absorbed too much, too fast. Many people have shared that, after a funeral, their jewelry just did not feel the same, even though they could not explain why. Expensive items also tend to shine, stand out, which can feel out of place in such a quiet, sacred space. The sparkle of metal or glint of gemstones can unintentionally clash with the mood of a farewell. In moments when everyone is focused on peace and simplicity, flashy accessories can draw attention in ways that disrupt the atmosphere. Without realizing it, the wearer might feel slightly out of sync with the tone of the event. Uncomfortable, even if they cannot explain why. More than that, bringing valuables might lead to regret if those items get damaged, scratched, or feel different after the ceremony. The cold, the moisture in the air, and the weight of emotion, all of it can make an item feel heavier, colder, or lose its usual brightness. That is why people in the past often chose simple, modest clothing and accessories for funerals, not just to show respect, but to keep their energy light and undisturbed afterward. A peaceful mind and an unburdened body are always the safest choices in moments like these. Third, wear dark, modest clothing. Choosing to wear dark clothing when entering a cemetery is not just a common rule. It is a way to attune yourself to the silence of the space. Dark colors absorb the stillness, the wind, and the quiet gaps between the tombstones. They help you blend into the background rather than disturb the atmosphere. A muted color tone that does not reflect too much light helps you remain respectful and avoid drawing attention, allowing you to fully honor both the departed and those present. When you wear darker tones, your mindset also shifts into a quieter, more solemn state, reminding you that you are stepping into sacred ground where even your breath carries weight. Beyond color, modest clothing plays a role in protecting your body from the subtle shifts in the environment. Cemeteries often carry a deep chill, not the kind that comes from temperature, but from the stillness in the air and the quiet land covered in mist. If your wrists, neck, or back of the head are too exposed, you may physically feel the cold settling in, blocking your internal flow of energy, creating tension in your shoulders and fatigue in your back. A soft, modest outfit that covers just enough without being too tight forms a gentle layer of protection that helps preserve your inner warmth and calmness in such a spiritual space. Dark colors also signal humility, blending into the overall picture of the ceremony. In that setting, where the lighting is dim and the breeze whispers like a sigh from nature, bright colors can feel jarring, disrupting the silent rhythm that nobody speaks of, but everyone senses. A too bright outfit might break that emotional flow, but when you wear darker tones, it becomes a quiet reminder to stay grounded, to let the rituals unfold in sacred stillness. This harmony allows every action, from a bow to lighting incense to saying goodbye, to happen with deep respect. And most of all, modest clothing is a gentle reminder that funerals are moments for simplicity and sincerity, not for display. A neat outfit that is not overly elaborate does not distract others and does not draw unnecessary attention to yourself. When your appearance is understated, your mind is free to focus on the meaning of the ceremony, on honoring the departed and comforting the living. Walking out of the cemetery in dark, modest clothing helps you carry a quiet sense of completion. You showed proper respect, and you preserved your inner warmth and peace. Fourth, do not touch anything in the cemetery. One of the first things to remember when entering a cemetery is to keep your hands relaxed and avoid touching anything. Every stone, every grave marker, every item placed there carries meaning. They are symbols of memory, longing, and love from those who remain. These are not just objects. They are connections between the living and the departed. Even an unintentional touch, with no bad intent, can disturb the calm energy surrounding a grave, like a ripple on a still pond. Many of the objects you see in a cemetery have absorbed emotions from countless visits. The wind that passes through carries not only the scent of wet grass, but also the echoes of past goodbyes. An old comb, a handkerchief, or a small statue placed on a grave holds memory, soaked in a family's love. When you place your hand on these items, you are not just touching something physical. You are, often unknowingly, touching a layer of unresolved emotion. This is not superstition. It is the natural sensitivity of a person encountering something deeply nostalgic. In addition, cemeteries contain many old objects that may have weathered time: sun, rain, wind, and more. An old incense bowl might be held up only by a patch of damp soil. A stone tile could be weakened underneath. A small statue may shed its dusty surface with even a light touch. Any small movement could disrupt the balance and dignity of the gravesite. Even if you are not aware of it in the moment, the feeling of guilt, regret, or awkwardness afterward can linger, especially in the quiet, emotional space of a cemetery. Keeping your hands to yourself is a way of preserving the space just as it is. As you walk between the graves, let your hands rest by your sides, take soft steps, and breathe with quiet awareness. You will begin to feel the silence wrap around you, not as something eerie, but as something sacred. This sense of reverence allows you to leave the cemetery with a light heart, untouched by unnecessary disturbance. And that is exactly what makes a visit truly peaceful, a moment of remembrance and of deep gratitude. Fifth, brush yourself off 3 times before leaving the cemetery. When leaving a cemetery, many people report feeling a heavy atmosphere lingering around their body, something invisible yet undeniable. The resting place of the dead holds not only silence, but layers of memories, unspoken goodbyes, and a natural chill that settles into the land. Brushing yourself off 3 times is a gentle way to clear away that lingering heaviness, like dust that clings to you during the time you spend there. This simple act serves as a reminder to the mind and spirit. It is time to release the somber energy and step away from the emotional weight of the farewell. As your hands brush across your shoulders, arms, and back, it signals a return to the present moment after a deeply emotional experience. Throughout a funeral, your focus is often with the grief of the family, which can leave your own spirit weighed down and out of balance. Brushing yourself off may not be magical, but it is psychologically powerful. It marks the end of the ceremony and allows you to separate the emotions of parting from the rhythm of everyday life. With that, your breath becomes deeper, your steps lighter, and your inner state gradually returns to calm. At the moment you prepare to walk through the cemetery gate, this act becomes symbolic, as if closing an invisible door. In the space where the realms of the living and the departed meet, it is common to feel subtle shifts in the air, a sudden breeze, a deep stillness, or even a strange heaviness on your shoulders while standing before a grave. When you brush yourself off 3 times, it is like silently telling the space, "What belongs here will stay here. It will not follow me home." Though there is no sound or visible sign, this act brings a clear sense of protection, as if you are drawing a line between yourself and the energy you are leaving behind. Finally, brushing yourself off before getting into the car or stepping beyond the cemetery gates is a way to keep your energy clear as you return to daily life. In Feng Shui, the most important thing after attending a funeral is not avoidance, but maintaining a balanced spirit that does not unknowingly carry prolonged sorrow. When your body is freed from that emotional heaviness, you walk back into the world ahead with a brighter, lighter state of mind, like stepping out from a fog. That way, the present is no longer dimmed by the shadow of farewell. 6th, step through fire or smoke. After leaving the cemetery, stepping through a small flame or a gentle stream of smoke is seen as a subtle yet powerful transition, a symbolic shift from the somber realm of rest back to the rhythm of daily life. The smoke, often rising from burning incense or paper, floats lightly with the wind, as if cleansing the emotional weight that has built up on your shoulders. In that moment, you may feel the soft vapor touch your clothing and slowly fade away, just like the lingering emotions quietly fading into the past. This is not superstition. It is a deeply human understanding of what the heart needs after a farewell. Fire, even when it is just a small flame in a clay bowl or from burning paper, carries the symbolic power of warmth and renewal. Placed at the entrance of a cemetery, it does not serve to chase anything away. Rather, it invites clarity and light back into the body and mind. As your feet pass through the glowing light, warmth often rises from the soles upward, gently reaching the chest, almost like a comforting hand placed on your shoulder, whispering, "It is time to go home." That subtle transition soothes the restless parts of your spirit and helps to restore emotional balance after facing loss. In many families, the ritual of stepping through fire or smoke is preserved as a quiet tradition, humble, unspoken, and meaningful. A single piece of paper, a stick of incense, or a small fire is enough to mark the boundary between the spiritual and the earthly, between the heaviness of grief and the peace waiting on the other side. As each person walks through, you may notice small changes in their expressions. A deep breath, a gentle tightening of the hands, all signs that they are ready to leave behind what no longer belongs to them. It is the simplicity of this ritual that gives it strength, passed down through generations without needing dramatic explanation. What matters most about this practice is the feeling it creates, the sense that an invisible door has just been gently closed behind you. When you step through the smoke, it becomes a reminder that your duty of farewell is done. And now, it is time to return to the light and warmth of living. The sadness, the lingering thoughts, the emotional weight, all of it is handed back to the place of rest, not carried with you in every step. Because of that, you return home lighter, more at peace, and free from the burden of sorrow that could cloud the energy of your living space. 7th, light an incense stick or turn on the lights when you get home. After coming back from a cemetery or funeral, people often carry with them a quiet, hard-to-name emotion, a silence that slips into the mind, a chill that lingers in their clothing, or a vague emptiness that has yet to settle. Though nothing may be said, it often feels like the atmosphere inside the home has shifted, as if the house is holding its breath, waiting for its familiar rhythm to return. In that moment, lighting an incense stick is like bringing the home's heartbeat back. The rising smoke swirls gently through the air, carrying with it a subtle warmth, not loud, but soft enough to reawaken a sense of peace. Incense smoke is more than just fragrance. It spreads itself through the room with a calming presence, coating the space in a quiet, reassuring stillness. As the smoke flows into every corner, it seems to sweep away the lingering chill and sorrow of the funeral visit. The person standing in that soft aroma often notices a shift. Their breathing slows, their heartbeat calms, and the heaviness begins to lift, as if emotional dust has been swept away by a passing breeze. This is not mysticism. It is the natural way the mind responds when placed in a warm, comforting environment that feels like home again. Alongside incense, turning on the lights is another simple way to bring balance back into your home. Cemeteries are filled with muted tones and heavy stillness, causing your eyes and heart to carry a subtle gloom. When you walk into your house and flip on a light, it does more than brighten the room. It signals that life and energy are returning. That light acts like a gentle knock on the door of the soul, reminding you that this is a place of living, of warmth, and of moving forward. With the light, any leftover emotions from the farewell settle into their proper place, no longer hanging over the space or weighing on your thoughts. Lighting incense or turning on a light is not about superstition. It is about marking the transition between two emotional states, from the space of parting to the space of continuity. It is a mental reset. As the incense fades into the air and the light fills the room, you feel the shift. You are truly home again. A home meant to hold peace, not prolonged grief. That is the moment your heart becomes lighter, your eyes clearer, and your home returns to being a safe, warm space, no longer carrying the quiet chill of goodbye. When a farewell comes to an end and a person walks out of the cemetery, what remains is not just sadness, but also how each of us chooses to protect our own peace. Standing in such a quiet, solemn space makes the soul more sensitive, easily drawn into layers of emotion we may not even realize we are carrying. That is why the most important thing is not about performing complex rituals, but about having a gentle attitude, one that respects the boundary between the sacred space of the departed and the warm home of the living. A cemetery is not something to fear. It is a place where two worlds quietly connect. The living come to say goodbye, but they also leave with a deeper understanding of how fragile life is and how important it is to cherish the present. When you learn how to hold your inner peace in the stillness of that space, you begin to see the true value of calmness, something that may seem simple, but is actually something that must be protected with mindfulness and care. And before you leave, take a moment to write a positive affirmation in the comments below. My home is always filled with peace and good fortune. And do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you will not miss out on any Feng Shui tips to help your family stay safe, happy, and full of positive energy.